Howdy, and welcome back to the channel. This is Professor Parks, PhD, and today I'm going to just show you a small video, really a video of a video. This is something that we did last night, where one of the things that we have here at our observatory is a live webcam. Well, I say live, but it's really just a webcam, which we have nicknamed the planetary cam because of its limitations. Really the only things that we can see with it with any sort of clarity are in fact planets. And so what I wanted to do was to show you an image of Venus. And so what you can see here, and this is, well, at the moment it is in fact Memorex, but it was at the time live. And so what I love about Venus, and this is true color. This is essentially what you would see if you were looking at Venus through the telescope. The saturation has been tweaked a little bit, but ultimately this is really what you would see. Venus is a yellowy brownish color because of the constituents of its atmosphere, and the shaking that you're seeing here is the hysteresis in our telescope. And really what that means is we are trying to reposition Venus, and because of the nature of the worm gear that is used to move the telescope, there's a little bit of backlash. There's a little bit of kind of, going back and forth once it gets to a certain position, as you can see here. The field of view here is rather tight. We estimate that the field of view is only about roughly 5 arc minutes by 5 arc minutes, give or take. To give you an idea, the full moon is 30 arc minutes in size, so this is roughly 1/6 of the size of the full moon. So from an astronomical perspective, this is a fairly small field of view. Now you might be wondering where the other half of Venus is. Well, as it turns out, for the inner planets, Mercury and Venus, because of our orientation as an outer planet with respect to them, those planets will actually go through phases, or we will observe them to undergo phases. Because with any planet or any object in the solar system, only one half of that object is illuminated at any time. So you can, if you take Mars, for example, Mars does not show phases. Because the sun is essentially always behind us, the sun is always going to illuminate the side of Mars closest to us. But that's not the case with Venus. With Venus, what we have is we can actually see, because of the angle, we can see basically the side of Venus, and with the sun over to one side rather than behind us, we can see that half of the, or some portion of Venus will be illuminated. As it happens, this image that you see here is, in order to get a quarter phase or a half Venus, the Venus is in what we call the position of greatest elongation, meaning it's as far away from the sun as it is ever going to get over of a Venusian orbit, shall we. It is the easiest time to observe. It is much higher up in the sky and is very bright in either the morning sky or the evening sky. In this case, it was the evening sky. That's why it's called the evening and morning star, or evening star or morning star. And it's the safest, in a way, time to observe it in terms of a telescope, in that, again, the sun is as far away as it can get, and so there's really no worry about getting direct sunlight down into your telescope, because you can imagine a telescope is essentially, or a very sophisticated magnifying glass. So if you magnify the light of the sun, you have the potentiality of essentially frying your detector. So, all right. This has been fun. Hopefully you found this enjoyable and a little bit educational. So yeah, this is what Venus would look like through our 32-inch telescope. Oh, before I go, you might be wondering why it looks a little fuzzy. And the reason why it looks a little fuzzy is because of the Earth's atmosphere. The Earth's atmosphere is causing it to blur out in very much a similar way as stars that are twinkling. So it's not that we are out of focus, it's that the atmosphere is preventing us from really seeing the fine details on the Venusian cloud surface. All right, I've gone on long enough, so peace out, and I hope you have a good day. Clear skies.